pants on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're up and we're rolling, and welcome everybody to our monthly meeting. And I'm assuming everybody technically is okay because I can see you all, and I can hear you all. So, and nobody says they can't see anybody else and can't hear them. So I guess we're okay. So we've got, now, how do we want to do this? We've got our usual show and share, but we were also going to look at how we handle anybody that has heritage albums or heritage pages and things like that. Do we want to put that right into the show and share part of it? Or
Yeah,
okay,
I think
then
so.
we'll do
Yeah,
that.
that's easiest.
Yeah.
Okay, so first one on the spotlight in no particular order is Anne.
Okay. Well, first of all, the only crafting I've been doing is cards, because I got all these birthday cards. And the last time I shared those 6x6 Minte pads. So here's a couple of the cards I've made with them.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to spotlight you. Just hang on there for a second.
Okay.
Okay, you're spotlighted. There we go.
Oh,
Wow.
look at that. Beautiful.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
that's
are really
pretty.
nice.
Yeah. And I just put a sticker on the inside of this one. Because it's
nice.
for a friend who reads. So, and then
Where's the sticker from?
Dollarama or Dollar Tree or something. It's
Perfect.
it's just a random sticker selection I picked up somewhere along the way, and I was rooting around looking for something else, and I found it, and I thought, oh, those are pretty. I could use those. So they're clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Plus, what else am I doing? Oh, I've been playing with oxide inks and the Vicky Booten stencils I bought, and some
wow.
die cuts I have.
Wow, that's
Very pretty.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Thank you.
Pretty.
Yeah.
All
I don't do anything
stencil
much
and
on the insides because I tend to write a lot when I send a thing to a friend.
Yeah.
Not all
But Anne,
stenciling,
is
but
that one, that's all stencil and ink, that one?
The color
There's
is
no cutout,
the
there's no die cut?
oxide inks, Distress Oxide inks.
the flowers are
Green or
stickers.
something or
There's no die
whatever.
cut.
Pardon?
The flowers are stencil?
No, the flowers are die cuts. A bag
Okay.
of die cuts, like ephemera stuff that I bought from Carol. I don't know, last
Okay.
year sometime, or maybe
No, I
even
was
years
wondering
ago,
if
I
her
don't remember.
stencil did that.
And then the
wondering
circly,
if
the
stencils did
swirly lines are a Vicky Booten pack of stencils I bought in the fall, I think.
Nice.
Yeah,
That is beautiful.
It is
beautiful.
But I like watercolors and
it's really
florals.
nice.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm
going to
really
interrupt. I'm just going to interrupt for a second. I was, Gina just sent me an email. She said the link didn't work. So I've sent it to her again, and it's the same link as all of you have used. So anyways, we'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
carry
we'll-
on, Ann. Sorry.
Turn up. And then I got a new die with stripy things in it, and then so I just put that together. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but anyway, there it is. And this stamp I've had for a while. This stamp, and I thought, I should do something with it. And it was going to be on a different color, but I messed it up, so I had to trim it down and mount it. You know how it is.
Nice.
No mistakes, only
Nice.
opportunities. And
Beautiful.
then from Sherry up in Stouffville, I got a new photoplay stamp set with little sayings and stuff. So the big one is today, and then there's lots of little things. So thinking of you, and then I'll write inside. So. And Valentine's coming up, so I made a little Valentine card for my granddaughter, Delphine.
That's pretty.
Yeah, and then I
Nice.
cut some scraps out with that. And this is a die I had somewhere. I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah, nice.
Is that embossed, the die?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's just the paper. It's the
It's the
glittery paper.
paper.
Yeah.
It's a little scrap of paper I had, and I thought, oh, that's the perfect size.
Waste
Yeah,
not
right.
And
want.
then
And
what
what
I
have you stored it in?
a stack at the moment. A pile, you could say.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things to add a little something with is a glitter pen. I mean, I go through those things like nobody's business because I stick glitter pens on everything. You know, the gel
Yeah.
sparkle pens. And so it just adds a little something, which is hard to see on the computer. Anyway, that's my crafting for this. As for my heritage stuff, I don't have a lot from either my mother or my father. My mother died when I was 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, after the birth of my younger brother. And my dad emigrated to Canada in 1929 and brought very little with him, like a loaf of bread and a hunk of sausage, basically, and a few pictures, but not very many. So I don't have a lot of family stuff. I have a few things I got from my aunt, my mom's sister, and some pictures that I remember having around. So I don't have her. The thing that I want my children and grandchildren to remember are the stories that my dad told. And because he told them over and over again, as one is wont to do. But I loved listening to them, and I wanted my kids and my grandkids to have those stories. And I couldn't think about how I was going to save them. But anyway, this is what I did. So I've got several pages of them. On the computer, I just typed up the stories and printed them on acid-free paper. So it's cardstock, a finished cardstock, and then just mounted them in the scrapbook and called it Stories from My Father Told.
Wow. That's really
Nice.
sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Cool.
And I have several pages of those, and I didn't put them all back to back because who wants to look at that? But they are interspersed with it. And then when I was a child, on my dad's dresser, he always had this picture of my mother. So
Oh,
Wow.
that in there too. And then a little story about it. And this is one of the few pictures I have of my mother. She's on a horseback on a ride that she went with my dad. I think on their honeymoon they went. Who knows? He's not here to ask. And then in the early 70s, when my husband and I went to Denmark, we went to the town where my dad grew up. And so I went and took a picture of the church where he went. So this is the exterior, the interior. And I found the headstones for my grandparents and my great grandparents. And so I took a picture of those just to have.
wow.
Nice.
I love how you
And-
matted those.
Mhm.
I love how you matted those.
Oh, yeah. I made this about 10 years ago when I was just getting started in it. So I don't know if I would have done it the same way, but you know what? I like it. It's kind of,
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other piece that I found, in rummaging around in the bits that I did have, what I do have is the contract that my dad signed with the White Star Line to bring him from Denmark to Canada.
Oh, so
Cool.
interesting.
Yeah, and so in order to keep everything together, I put it in here.
Mhm.
I haven't glued it down or anything. I've just got some clear photo corners and stuff. And I made a book for my brother, which is virtually the same. And I made copies of all the documents that I have, so he has it for his family.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
oh, there it's coming out, but that's,
Nice.
the bottom had to be folded up, but there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I have his landing card and a couple of other bits and bobs as well. And then the other thing I thought I'd share is my mom and dad's wedding picture,
Oh,
because
nice.
I loved that
Oh,
picture.
yeah.
It was on his dressing
Yeah.
table too.
It's nice.
So,
It's a very nice story, Anne.
yeah,
You preserved it well.
and thank you. And then I did the little family tree thing.
That's
The
cool.
book that I put it in is this, and it's a picture of me. And then the title page is that. So I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
So it's
Nice.
not a very big book because I don't have very much. But what I have. And that's it.
Okay,
Very
that's
nice.
great.
Great job.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great.
thank
happy to
you.
share.
All right, so I will remove you from the spotlight and let's do Caroline.
Hello. So I didn't do a lot of lot of crafting, but just as you were talking, I realized I don't have any heritage stuff that I've done, but I actually have this document from that is my dad's, and I'm not sure what I'll end up doing with it, but
Oh, cool.
you know, and I don't speak Czech, so I have to find out what the translation is. I think this was a passport.
It looks like it.
Yeah, and so, you know, it's interesting. It even has a fingerprint in it.
It might be walking papers. What year is it from?
Oh, it's 1948. So,
Oh, okay. What,
so
well,
this-
was in the Czech
so
Republic
this was the Russians, you know, this was
Yeah.
the Russians were in charge of the Czech Republic, you know,
It's
Czechoslovakia.
walking papers. I had that with my first husband.
Okay,
Yeah, that's exactly, except he had German ones with the Nazi symbol on them. But that's exactly what it is. It's walking papers so you can be out and about.
so
And
it's
that,
it's his identity card, basically.
yeah, basically that's what it is. That's why they have the fingerprints in them.
Ah, okay,
Mhm.
thank you. So I'm not quite sure
album.
what to do with it.
You might
But
want to put it in an envelope in an album
yeah,
or a
Yeah.
pocket. You don't have
That's an idea.
and I love
Clear ones.
photograph.
Yeah.
You know,
Ah.
my dad is just about 90 years old now, so that's he strangely enough, one of my brothers looks a lot like that.
That's so strange.
Yeah. So I did an ATC for this month, which is folk sayings. Is it forwards or backwards?
It's forward for us. We
Okay.
see it the right way.
So it says
Yeah.
many hands, light work.
Oh,
Oh,
nice. That's
Oh.
interesting.
cool.
Cool.
So I did a pun.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
Not
have a,
surprising, Caroline.
pardon?
Not surprising.
Yeah.
You're good
So
with
I have
words.
this stamp set that I use the hands from. And the light bulb comes from this kind of steampunky set.
Cool.
And then the other thing is I was at a Dollarama recently. I know it was in Newmarket, which I know you guys aren't close to, but a series of stamp sets, which I thought would be
Oh.
perfect for art journaling.
I have
Oh.
those.
Wow.
So they make a nice, they're a nice size, nice variety. You know, I'm not sure I chose every single one of them, but you know, you can, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with them. And each one comes actually with a block.
Yeah.
Each one has a stamp block. So
Cool.
these are the sets.
And Dollarama, did you say?
This was Dollarama, yeah.
Are they
Um,
open?
Yeah, Dollarama's open.
Yeah,
They
it
have
is.
food.
Yeah, they have food, so that's why they're open. So, oh, just back to my thing, I used distress oxides on it, and I used squeezed lemonade, mustard seed, iced spruce I actually used in the, you know, this bit at the bottom, and then that's blueprint sketch as the sort of the darkness,
Yeah.
the non-lit part. So. As an engineer, blueprint sketch is one of my favorite colors.
Yeah, I like that one
I'm
too.
familiar with the old blueprints.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't have any heritage scrapbooking. The only thing that I have is I have some pictures from my sister got my grandmother's cottage, but so I have some pictures, you know, I did some scrapbooking of the cottage, but other than that, there are heritage photos, some of which are probably here, but I'm not sure, you know, as one of 5 kids, when my parents' place got closed up, some of the stuff went various places.
So great. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so thank you. And let's go with Pat in the spotlight.
Oh, I've been making a lot of cards because February is card month. So it was Terry's birthday and he likes
Oh,
cards.
Uh,
That's cute.
Got that top room. I think at either at Carol's or at Ecstasy Crafts, but he liked it. So Mustang. Then Valentine's Day is coming up, and I got this new stamp set from, I think it's Colorado Stamp Company. They do really giant images. So
Cool.
they're both embossed, one with glitter and one with just clear on red. But I thought, I just liked the image. I thought it was
It's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then my great nephew is turning 1.
Oh.
Shaker card.
Oh, that's so
That's from
cute.
Cricket Access. So I just like picked the thing in Cricut Access and picked the colors, and my Cricut cut it. And then my great niece is turning 6. So same thing, a
Oh.
mermaid shaker card. Cricut
Ew.
Access. It's really good, Cricut Access. My nephew just graduated from Teachers College, and he's going to be a science math teacher.
Oh,
So
nice.
at the graduation card, the Fibonacci curve, I had the stamp, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And
That's
this
perfect.
says inspire and something. So I just thought it was neat. And then some
Cool.
graduation leagues inside. And my other nephew has a birthday, and he likes steampunk. And I got inspired by Gina and Joanne because they always have these tags, and I never knew what to do with tags. And I just put it on the back. So he could actually like reuse this card if he wanted. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I see the
And
front?
then, yeah, it's just paper. I actually broke down and bought some patterned paper because I just needed to do something. It's one of those set fold cards.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
those Tim Holtz
I've tried
gears?
them. Yes, those are, I had them, the dies, so I just cut them out of paper.
Oh, and it's neat. You made the middle like a box card to put those stuff in there. I see you've got the.
Yeah,
I see you've got the.
saw that online.
Cool.
That's nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then I saw a video, this person, she's really good watercolor and flowers. And this looks nothing like her work, but I think her name's like Jane Siberia or something. That's a nickname, but she does painting with dots. Now mine did not work out, but I just, I tried. I stamped my Tiger Lily stamp and then tried to do dots, but it's a little bit, hers
Tricky.
are beautiful. This is nothing like it. It's a trick. This is the first time I tried it. I'm gonna have to work on it. So
Yeah. Practice.
that's that. Other than that, I did Maker Mania through the Stouffville store, and that was last weekend, all weekend. So I didn't know that Sherry, like I guess they've formed some kind of consortium to get a better deal from the cross suppliers. So it's across North America. And I think it was 20 different stores. And they put on 45-minute demonstrations each store. So there's 20 different 45-minute demonstrations. And it was quite good. I mean, there was just some hints that came out of it. There was some scrapbooking, which I've never done. So I don't have a scrapbook to show you, as you know. I'm trying to work on my brother's. So actually, and your stories resonate with me because I have a bunch of stories that people gave us at his memorial, and I haven't known what to do with them. So I see what you did. You just printed the little vignettes and interspersed them like with the
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to work on that, but the Maker Mania, they're having another one in June, the first weekend of June, and you can sign up through the workshop if it's not sold out. But you paid, but you got a good kit. You got a stamp, a die, an embossing folder, paper, ephemera, and just access to all the videos and stuff. One of the neat hints I heard was like if you're art journaling, they used, you know, those fine tip glue bottles like this. They will put a bit of black paint or any color paint, a little bit watered down, not too much, and then you can write with it in your art journal. So I don't know why that tip appealed to me, but it did.
Have you tried it?
I tried it. It was really cool. It's like having a really fine tip pen. can. So
Mm.
that's all I have.
Pat,
Okay.
if you find that
Yeah.
woman who did the dot painting again, can you send us a link when you find it?
Yeah, I have it actually on my screen. I'll send the link to Stephen.
Okay.
And then he can put it in the minutes. How's that? I'll do
Yeah,
it right
thank you.
after this.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Thanks.
Okay. So let's go then to Kristen. Put you in the spotlight.
Hi. All right, I've actually been doing some ATCs because, well, I'm 13 months behind, so I got 5 done now. This is my embossing one from last March. So I embossed a honeycomb in the back
That's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I put little bees on it. And there's Nuvo drops for the trails.
Mm.
The birthday is September 1. It's actually a little card, and this one's for Stephen. They're each
Oh, yeah.
individual.
Oh, it's cute.
Oh,
They all
cute.
look like this. The inside just has somebody's name. But
Yeah.
Oh, I
did
thought it
that.
was special.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'll put some. I'll
You
do
are
something different.
special, Stephen.
Yeah, I know. I ride the short bus. Yeah.
Pat does know, but I'm going to figure out how to get them to her. So these are 2 books I have about doing your family history. So I'm getting them to Pat. Actually next weekend, Pat, I'll text you. I am going to the Trading Post in Port Perry, so I can drop them off on my way. I'm into my family history, and this is how I started scrapbooking. So I don't actually have stories, but what I had was pictures of my grandmother's family. So
Wow.
this is my my 3rd great grandmother.
Mm.
But then I found all their birth certificates and stuff like that online. So that's how it's very basic. Obviously I started this in probably 07.
So do you guys find like 1 page per person is better, or?
Depends how much material you have, Pat.
Yeah, like I have
Okay.
the complete, like all a picture of every single child, like my great grandmother's family. So I did a page for them, and then I did yeah, so I just took the information again. This is the first certificate with a picture of the person, their name,
Nice.
etc. So that's all I did. I didn't I have a couple stories like from my grandparents and stuff. Like my grandpa told me how he met my grandma. So I wrote down, just kind of like Pat did. I just had a picture of them together and wrote that out. What else do I have? Oh, so Spellbind, you know those beautiful cards that the dome cards that Gina makes?
Mm.
Spellbinders does a little kit club, and they had a camera die.
Here comes Gina, speak of the devil.
I'll wait for Gina so she can see this.
And we have Alicia now too? Okay.
Alicia's
Yeah,
always been here.
Alicia's here. Yep.
Okay, I didn't see her before, sorry.
So this is part of their kit club, and it took me
Ah.
months to get it because of the Mississauga shut down, right? So what it does, let me see if you can, I know there's a huge glare. Let me try to turn off the light. So it lets you pull up, so it expands out, and then you pull up each individual, like it's kind of like a Polaroid. You pull up the cards, yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
So it was just before Christmas, it was on sale. It was still extremely expensive because it is their shipping is horrible price for Canadians. So yeah, I got that, and I've bought a lot of other things, but it's not available because, well, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to disassemble my workroom and reassemble it hopefully all next weekend when I have 3 days off.
Oh, okay.
So Pat, I will send you a message. I don't know what day we're going to go to the Trading Post, but I'll just leave it on your porch and I'll text you and say, hey, it's there.
Thank you.
No problem. I think they'll be helpful because they are more about the story.
Mhm.
So
Okay. So
That's it.
anything else?
no, I'm good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, well, now we're going to put Gina, who finally got in the spotlight. So hello, Gina, and I'm glad you got in.
Hi, I'm so glad I got in too. I guess there was something wrong with my app because I even called my son and then he just said, go in from the app, the Zoom app. So when I hit the Zoom app on my iPad, it started to say installing or updating or something. So
Oh,
now I know.
we're here now. Okay, so
I'm
what do you got to show us?
Okay, I did some ATCs for the month of January, the watercolor.
Oh,
Oh,
lovely.
Oh, those are nice.
So what I did
Nice, yeah.
was I dropped on the different colors of watercolor paint and then blew it with a straw. You know how I don't have one of those blowing
Yeah.
contraptions. So I just blew with a straw, and so each one's unique.
I like those.
I did a couple of Easter cards. I still love streamline cards. Just a
Aw.
couple. And those are just a couple of 3D mice, the little mice.
Mm.
And then we were talking about heritage,
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that book. So I just quickly flipped through. It's not very big. So this was for Wayne's uncle who turned 100. Okay, so I broke it up into ancestry, 2 pages of ancestry. Then I did friends and family, because I know we were talking about how to kind of do it. Then I went with him and his wife through the years. I did celebrations, which would be various birthdays and parties. Then I went him celebrating his 100th birthday. This one is with friends. And then I did celebrating with family. And then that's the end of that. But in the back of the book, I could put all the different certificates. He got one from the Queen because he turned 100.
Mm.
And, like the province
Yeah.
and the city and stuff like that. Yeah. So
It's nice.
That's a nice book to have.
thank you. So who was it that wanted to do that again? Was it Carolyn or
No,
Dana?
Pat.
No,
Oh.
it's me or my brother. I just haven't been able to do it. So
Okay.
now I noticed most of you use those 12 by 12 albums with plastic
Yeah.
pages. Is that the normal way?
Well, I like the
Okay.
the big 12
Whatever you
by
like.
12 because it holds a lot of pictures. Because I wasn't actually doing anything fancy, but I wanted to hold a lot of pictures. So I
Yeah.
find the big 12 by 12 holds a lot of pictures. And you just kind of make those two go together, and then you can change your scheme to a different color.
And you also
My-
use double
my
matting.
thing-
Yeah.
I
Pardon?
think Anne did it with the stories too, because I have lots of stories and I didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
I see
Oh.
what Anne did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, because my grandchildren, what I've been doing with the grandchildren, ever since each one was born, I write them a poem once a year. So I put the poem on one side and then birthday pictures on the other. And usually the poem entails what happened for that year.
That's so cool.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Nice.
And she's got
Pat?
5 grandchildren.
5 grandchildren. 5 grandchildren, but I only did it until they graduated grade 8, and I did their graduation. I didn't go any further than that because I figured that's 14 years. After that, you kind of like you see them, but you're not as close because then they start doing friends or yeah.
Yeah.
So up until they were 14 for each of them.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a treasure for them to have.
Yeah,
There
and
with
you know,
their future families, you know.
it's so funny because my one girlfriend or my one granddaughter, she had to do something in one of her classes in high school, And it was supposed to be a little bit of the history of her life or following her life through the years. And she asked my permission to use the poems. And because each one said something to highlight something important for that year, whether they got new pets or what their current loves were, what their hobbies were. And she used them to go through all the years and compile this thing she was doing for a teacher.
Cool. What a
Yeah.
treasure though. And what a resource for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember somewhere I was at one of those classes for scrapbooking, and a gentleman there was at it, and he said he would write his grandchildren a letter once a year, and the letter would just highlight the year and special things. So I thought that's when I started doing it.
That's kind of neat.
Kinda
Okay. Any?
I would
anything
say,
else?
Pat, while I'm thinking about it, make sure you label things because people forget who people are. And I mean, it may look a little weird. Oh, Bill and Joanne, everybody knows who they are, but down the road, not everybody's going to remember.
Yeah.
So make sure you identify who the people
Yes.
are. That is just
That are-
so important. I've got a box of pictures. I have no clue who they are. There's nothing written on the back.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
virtually.
I guess in the moment, you don't think to do that because
No.
it's obvious. And then even one generation down, I'll be like, who's that?
Yeah, who's that? And
Yeah.
nobody remembers, either the people who are there are gone or their memories are gone. So
I see the
Well,
idea.
I did
make
put,
sure you identify the people that you can. That's
Yeah. I did put like little stickers with names.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good
Yeah.
idea, Gina.
In these books,
Thank you.
they have like it's
Yeah.
basically about the story. It's not really about the picture in these books that I have for you. So I think that'll work. I think you'll find some great, and they're different sizes as well. So
Yeah.
whatever size works for you. I mean, you can see
Yeah.
what you have and then decide what size to go with.
Yeah, those two
Thank
books
you.
are great because I've got those books too. I've had them for a long time and I used them quite a bit when I was working on some of my heritage stuff too. Okay, so anything else, Gina, you want to share with
No.
us right now?
That's it. Thank you. I'm just
Oh.
glad I got in.
Yeah,
We're glad
I
you're
was
here.
worried. You may
We-
find several emails later from me going, are you in? Are you in? Can you get in?
Are you okay? Oh my God, where's Gina?
Yeah. Where's Gina? Where's Gina? Okay, so thank you, Gina. Let's go, Joanne. It is your turn to be in the spotlight.
Okay, hi, everybody.
Hi.
So I don't do scrapbooking, so sorry I don't have anything heritage-wise. Last time that we were together, I gave myself a challenge, and it was to do ICAD, so index card a day.
Right, yeah.
So let's see if I can do a flip through. I completed that. So I have 31 index cards.
Wow.
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 What size are those?
4x6.
Awesome.
It's cool.
Wow.
So, and I just used up all sorts of stuff that I have in my stash.
Were you given themes per day, or did you have to come up with them?
No, I came up with them. I mean,
Wow.
you could do prompts, but my goal was just to do a little bit, just to get through 31 days and do a little bit of art each day. And
Good
this
for
is a
you.
good challenge because it's
Yeah.
just a nice size, 4x6. It's not, a big daunting page to deal with, and just I use different products I haven't used in a while, and just use stuff from my stash. Like remember when we did the salad spinner art? So that
Yeah.
was one of the pages. So I just used that for my background.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
So just
And they
use
fit
that.
in the little photo album because they're 4x6.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and so they fit in these little albums that I got from the dollar store.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
Nice.
it's
Joanne, did you find that you cleaned up each day before you started the next project? Because otherwise you'd have your entire craft room out all at once.
I know I have a big mess,
Okay.
You want to see
unfortunately.
messy? Here's messy.
Oh, that looks like my table.
I don't
But
feel so
anyway,
bad anymore.
No,
It was a good challenge.
I have two big tables and I work in a space that's probably about, I don't know, 12 by 12.
Yeah.
The stuff gets piled.
You
And
guys make me feel so much better.
Yeah, I don't know how we can handle it in class when we have just our set space, because I can fill all the space.
I have a whole basement myself.
Yeah, so do I.
Very.
Yeah.
Really
Okay.
nice, Joanne.
So, anything
Um,
else, Joanne?
Yes, so I don't have it to show because I already gifted it, but I made a big journal for my a neighbor who wasn't feeling well, and I didn't even know if she journaled, but I just made one and dropped it at her door. But she does journal. She belongs to a group through the Cancer Support Center, the Hearth Place, and they get together and they do some journaling. So what I thought I would do is make some smaller journals, and I'll donate them to the Hearth Place when they open up again. So inside I put an envelope and a bunch of tags. So they're just made with a 10 by 7 manila envelope. And the back, I put a bunch of journaling cards in the back as well.
Very nice.
Great
They're kinda
idea.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
You do beautiful work, Joanne.
thank
Yeah,
you.
those are
Yeah.
I saw your
Um,
journals on the Heritage House website,
Oh,
the one in Whitby.
Yes.
Linda?
Yeah, I have a couple journals for sale at the Warren General Store.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you. And so now, I'm gonna work on my altered book. So this is just a book I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I've started the first page. Haven't finished it, but this one's going to be about, it's going to have a, a quotation about time. So I'm looking forward to working on that. And so I do have to get back to my ATCs though. I kind of got stuck on those little watercolor squares I was doing last month, but I'll get back to that. And just an FYI, this month is our 30th trade.
Wow.
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 We've been trading since May 2018.
Wow.
wow.
Wow. Geez.
Wow.
Does anyone need to know what next month's, or does everybody have the list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
for
Okay,
weather
very
next
good.
month, I think.
Weather sayings, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
I
Okay,
took the
thank you.
screenshot, printed it, and it's on the board.
Yeah.
Joanne,
Yes,
Okay.
Joanne, what
yes.
did you make the pages in your journal out of?
Sorry, which journal?
The one you made out of the 10 by 7 envelopes you
Oh.
said. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
this one.
So the pages inside.
The pages inside?
Yeah,
scrapbooking paper, and again, it's all from my stash. I cut it to size. And this
Okay.
is just your photocopy paper
Yeah.
and some colored paper.
Oh, you just like
This-
put a bunch of different papers together?
Yeah, this one
Okay.
is, you know, the ledger paper, you'll find packages of that at Value Village or places like that,
Okay.
because people aren't using this anymore, right? So,
How are they attached into the journal?
oh, it's called a 3-hole pamphlet stitch.
Okay.
So
Oh, you sewed the.
1, 2, 3 holes, and I use it's bookbinding thread that
Oh,
I got
cool.
at Curry's, and I also try to put in. There's a page from a coloring book, right?
oh,
And then
cool.
I put little stamps and whatnot, just
And
to
did
make
you
it.
just tear your paper? Did you just
Sorry?
tear the paper? The edge of your paper, it's a nice texture. Did you
The
just
edge of
tear
my
it?
paper? No,
Yeah.
no, I use my cutting, what do you call it? You know, the
You have a
cutting thing.
decal edge, you have a
Deckle
decal
edge,
edge, right?
trimmer, yeah.
Oh, is that what the deckle edge
Mm.
guillotine cutter thing does?
Yeah,
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 it's awesome. Dana and I have them.
yeah. And
Highly
usually I
recommend.
put a little
Doily?
doily in it.
How pretty.
Yeah,
And pockets and tags.
yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, it's
It
really nice.
inspires, I don't know what in me, but it makes me want to be creative. By looking at them.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else, Joanne?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. And let's go to Darla is in the spotlight.
Oh my.
She's got big stuff.
Oh, look.
Oh.
Well, there's her book.
It's the boxes. Remember
Oh,
the
her
boxes?
Oh, the
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
awesome.
have that paper.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's called Modern Times. And
Yeah.
it's all about, you know, shows and film, that type of thing. So I don't want to, whether I want to put anything that's heavy on the top of here, like embellishments, because right now I've got them so that they set on top of one another. So I thought this other one,
Wow.
so that it can fit.
Oh.
Hmm.
Just
Oh my
amazing.
goodness.
Oh, Darla.
Fantastic.
And so I'm gonna get my son to save another box, because what I've done with the inside of them,
Uh-oh.
I put, if you can see that, these are all the programs from different theaters, shows that we've gone to, and we've saved some of our tickets in here from
Wow.
all of the
Nice.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Far Away and Jersey Boys, and this this one
Oh,
fits, bigger box fits the actual programs from the shows.
Wow.
So it fits
yeah.
perfectly in there.
Nice.
So I don't let
Yeah.
a lot of people throw them out, but I thought our son's a producer, so he loves all of this kind of stuff. So I figured, well,
Yeah.
that might not get thrown out when we pass away. So that's what I did with those boxes. So it's all,
Cool.
That's
All
cool,
around.
Darla. Well
Yeah,
done.
that's really cool.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, well,
yeah.
So Darla, did you Mod Podge it kind of like on, or did you use a collage medium?
No, all I did was glue them on with that the glue that I get from, well, they have it at Class Act too, but Ecstasy. There's a special, I use it for scrapbooking.
Oh, so it's glue. Okay.
So I haven't Mod Podged it or anything yet because I haven't decided how much further to go before I do that.
I see,
I
because
think,
that
I
would
think I
seal
like it flat though. I think I like the flatness of it. And because they sit on top of one another now.
Yeah.
So that's what I did to finish that part.
Perfect.
That's beautiful.
Okay. Then I started with the heritage. So I'm going to try and move this. You can see kind of a quilt there to the side.
Oh, wow.
So, trying to get it up. Okay, so can you see that better now? I pulled it. Oh, I thought
That's
it
good.
froze. I'm gonna try and bring it. I'll bring it down. Okay, so this is a memory quilt.
Wow.
Wow.
So what I've done
Wow.
is I guess I got this idea from my grandmother. So my grandmother years ago, she was a Bernardo.
Oh.
So she was from the orphanage over in England.
Mm.
She valued everything. And so this doesn't give it justice, but all of you have seen the granny squares before.
Mm.
But what
Yes.
she did, she collected she lived in Port Hope. When she came across with her sisters and brothers, she was only 6 years old. And she was raised by a family down in Port Hope. So that's where she ended up living for her life. But she went to it's called Two Sisters, or it was one of the thrift stores down in Port Hope. And she used to collect sweaters from there, pull them all apart herself. And then she made each one of her grandchildren a huge, and mine's up I just couldn't get it out today. So this one doesn't do it justice compared to the one that I have. But she made us each one of these Afghans. And when we were about, I guess, 10 or 11 years old, she gave them to us that she'd made. So it didn't cost her anything because like it was maybe 5 cents per sweater. And she made us each one of those. So I guess that's where I got the idea of these from her, as well as they used to advertise these memory quilts in the, in some of the magazines. So what I did is I took all I have 3 children, and each one of them, I saved all their t-shirts over the years and some of their fancy clothes. If our daughters had some of those smock dresses and things that they would never use again, because my children don't have children yet, but I'm not sure that they would use some of those clothes. And they were all cut into squares that were like 12 by 12 and then made into a quilt. So that didn't, it was just saved in those Rubbermaid bins, all the t-shirts. So each one of them have one of these quilts, and they're very heavy and they're huge because they go like, I'd say about 20 by 20 as far as the pieces go. So this one was mine. So how it's put together is we saved all old jeans over about 5 years. And so the jeans were all cut up and put on the back. And then Stephen will get this because it says on the back. The back, mine has like a flannel of plaid, but underneath this is jean material. So everything that's been put on has been put on top of the blue jean material.
Wow.
So really, it didn't cost anything. It's just a matter of saving people's old jeans and cutting them apart.
Wow.
And then these things were just frayed. So I think I got somebody to do it for us. And back then it was like about $200 for each one of them that I had done, but they're worth a lot more than that. And the memories, and all of my kids just love them. You know, they have them, they have their own places and that, but they have them there. They either have them put them over a chair or they have them on their beds. But that sort of tells their life. So that's that's just an idea for heritage for your kids.
Nice.
That's a very popular technique amongst quilters, making these memory quilts, they call them, and they usually do them out of t-shirts and things. And they can
Yes.
get very elaborate too. And they're not like you paid somebody to do that. Well, I can tell you, those are not easy to do. Because of the kind of fabrics that you're working with, because you have stretchy fabric in there. You
Yeah.
might have like cotton and you've got denim in there too. All of those different types of fabrics are all, when you start to put them into one thing, become a bit of a nightmare to sew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would never tackle it, never. And it took her, I'd say took about 8 months to get it done.
Yeah.
But they all have them now.
That's awesome. That's such an amazing idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with us, Darla?
So then I sort of I brought my book to show Pat specifically because she asked about the brother one. But just how I went about the heritage. So I had boxes of photographs. So and you can use any kind of a box to put them in, but I categorized them all like under like grandparents or parents, some of our own pictures. And I have the problem that I have too many pictures because everybody saved so many over the years. So I went back, I have, I guess, 4 albums for the ancestry. So they're older albums. And then I've got 4 that start at my husband and I, where we started our story. And then I have all of, right up to where we had our kids. And then our kids have 5 albums each of theirs. So the first one, I'm not sharing all of them.
We haven't got that much time.
Okay, so for example, like this was my father when he was little, and I have all kinds of things like letters. I've got love letters from that he's given to my mother, and then my other. I thought each set of, is that better? Yeah. Okay, so this is one set of grandparents here, and they were from Russia. So I have, I've got, once someone in our family started the ancestry, like looking into all of the past, and we had a get together in 2006, and there must have been about 36 albums there of all the history of our family. So I have that to draw from when I'm doing the stories. And I've got pictures of my grandmother when she was a Bernardo child. And so this would be my parents.
Wow.
I love
And-
looking at these albums.
No.
I'm just going to show you a couple of each, and then I've got, and so that what I do, I think I've done this one. There's my parents, and I've got, these are letters in Russian that are there, and I haven't got them put into pockets yet, but that's my mother there. And my mother would have turned 100 on February the 2nd of this year.
Wow.
So I've got all of her history and my father's. So it goes through, there's a lot of categories, and Pat, if you want at some point, I can, if you and I chatted, I could tell you a lot of the categories that I put them into.
Okay.
But like there's life, marriage, and then what I did is I kept a book, like just one of those, a journal book like this, and I've written down what I was going to put in each of the albums. So like, for example, this is a couple of pages that these are titles that you might want to use, like Cherished Memories, A Legacy of Love, Letters from Home, A Marriage Blooms. There are all kinds of just ideas that you could use for your
Yeah.
pages.
That's cool.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so that,
That's neat.
and then I wrote, like, this would be one of my albums, and then I just jot down all kinds of notes of what I wanted to put in there. So
So
from
you
there,
like pre-plan before you do it? Like you
Yes.
spend a lot of time thinking before you execute? Okay.
okay, then, now, I think it was it Kristen was talking about, those are the pockets that you use, that you can put letters in, or things that, like, if you
Okay.
wanted to put somebody's hair in it, I guess you could put it in too, but it's any of that memorabilia you could put in those plastic pockets. Then I get an album, and then it's the 3 ring, a
Mhm.
D album, and then I have these plastic sleeves, and if I've got something already prepared, like sometimes I'll do these type of layouts, like Carol has, and then you don't know, oh, what am I
Okay.
going to put on it now? You do a really nice layout, so it's kind of backwards, because some people do their layout once they have the pictures, so they can see what colors that they want to use. But I put the embellishments, the pictures, any little notes or whatever, and just slide it into these
Like a
sleeves.
kit ready to go.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Then it's put into and then, yeah, if there's anything like that you want to put in, like letters, whatever, like for the title, and then it's put into this kind of, that's your D ring. You can get those at Michael's. I got them when they were half price, so I guess it would go $17. But I like this one because it's so heavy that it'll take everything that you put in it. Some of the others
Yeah.
don't. So then I try and put them into some kind of an order when they're in the book. Like
Okay.
how I'd like to do it. And then you can just keep adding to it. When you do the album itself, if you get albums that you can put pages in and out of, like it's not an advertisement, but Creative Memories have the ones that you can take the pages out and add more to it. But so
Okay.
this one here, so this is my brother's one. So that's why I'm going to focus on that one, because Pat was interested in how to do the brother one. So in my brother's one, I did, did you have a celebration of life?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
That's where all
put
the
that-
stories came from.
So I did that. Then I did when he was little, and especially with us. And then as we had family gatherings. And then again, this is where your journaling and your stories can come in. And then any Christmases that we had together. And that's, again, more family. That's him when he was younger. And see, there's another picture I found that's following. He used to play Santa Claus for our kids. So that was something we remembered. And then I'm just going to flip further on. And then weddings, when he was in our wedding. And then some of his achievements. He used to work in DuPont. These are like, he loved to bowl and he loved to play pool. And then this is his 50th birthday.
Wow.
And then his house, where did he live? And then birthdays again. So I'm just going to flip over to the end. So at the end of it, so this is when we had the celebration of life. I see what Kristen means with the shine here, but I hope you can see it. Now, those are I made those big boards, and then I put
Yeah, we had those. Yeah.
on the boards, and then I put them up. Okay, so those were and then this was the celebration of life. This one I haven't finished yet. So there's the sample of the celebration of life and where all the boards were.
Yeah.
There. And then you can do your stories at the side, because we had several people speak too. And I've written down notes, and we had a guest book, etc. And then you can
finish that. That's sort of like the end of the story. And then back in the back, I just put different cards, that kind of thing, like sympathy cards. And then that sort of ended the book for him. And so that's
Really helpful.
Pardon me?
That's really helpful. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're an extraordinary scrapbooker.
But
Wow.
if you know, like you and I, like if I get your phone number or whatever, we can chat sometime and I can give you some
I'll
ideas.
email you offline. I'll email you.
Okay.
That'd
And
be great. I
yeah.
appreciate that.
So that's I've taken enough time, but I just wanted to go through that with you to just show you kind of how to go about it if you were just starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect.
Anything else,
Darla?
Darla?
Nope, that's about it. And
Okay.
you know, just in addition that what you're always going to find more and more things. Like once somebody dies, you get more pictures or whatever, and you can just always add them into all the pages.
Yeah.
Like my mother passed away 5 years ago. You know, that's where I ended up getting love letters, all that kind of thing that you wouldn't have at the time that you're starting them. It's sometimes when people pass away, and unfortunately, you don't get all the stories from them. So what Anne was talking about was really special to have those stories, because I have some.
Yeah.
My grandmother had a house in Port Hope that was a heritage house that she paid $650 for, and now it's worth a lot more. And I have memories of when we used to make pickles there, that kind of thing. So those are the stories. I've taken pictures of the home, and you write those kind of things that maybe are memories of yours that might not be of hers, but of mine growing up. So it's an ongoing. I think scrapbooks are always an ongoing. There's no finite kind of. It can just keep going.
You never end. No.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay,
And
that's great.
I talked to my brother too, and I asked him about stories, and he came up with ones that I had forgotten, which was great. So it was a lovely opportunity for the two of us to talk. I'd gone out to Alberta to visit him and brought my journal book, and I said, okay, we're going to write down all the stories that we can remember that Dad told us. And most of them we both remembered, but there was one where he talked about carrying, wheat to the mill and being if he could carry the 100-pound bag of flour home, and he was just a kid, then he could have it for his family. And wow, yeah, I remember that story, but I had totally forgotten it. So it's really important that you just, even if it's just a little snippet, you put it down, because you forget, and somebody is going to want to know those. Now that my grandchildren are too young, but eventually they'll want to know these things, and it's important. So just little snippets, whatever you remember, things that you remember that nobody else does. I have memories of my mother that I know nobody told me, because they're not things that adults would remember, about having tea parties with her and a smocked dress that she made for me. So write those down, because they disappear.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got to say today.
Well, actually, this is just a wealth of information here. This is going to be great. So,
and Pat, if you need to talk to me about it, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to help you any way I can.
Thank you.
okay. Well, thank you, Darla, and take you from the spotlight. And Alicia, you're in the spotlight.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all.
Hey, Alicia.
See you, Alicia.
I've been busy. I partnered up with Jen, so I was with CraftX with Ecstasy for the last 3 days. So on our last day, we did some cards, and of course, they never turn out the way the work-alongs do. I have a problem conforming to instructions, apparently. So
what is craft?
Oh, that's pretty.
Beautiful.
Pretty.
Holy cow.
Nice.
Yeah, CraftX was basically a bunch of suppliers showing us their products and using them and that sort of stuff. So then at the end, we had the craft along where you got like a box of stuff that, and they
Is
gave
it
you
for
instructions.
retailers only? Or can anyone
Yeah,
sign up?
it was just for retailers only.
I like that first card.
Oh,
Well,
pretty.
that's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one there, and that
Ooh,
one.
Nice.
it's nice.
Yeah, something a
like
little simple, right?
Simple's good.
Elegant.
Yeah, it's just, and then those were the three, and then I had a bug, so I kind of kept going. And this has got one of those 3D toppers on it.
Mm.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that an embossing folder in the background?
it is. It is. Creative Expressions.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Distressed
Yeah,
line.
and I just cut it down, and then I use the Nellie's Distress tool
Okay.
on the edge.
Cool.
Yeah. This guy here.
Oh, pretty.
Pretty.
I like
And
that.
then
Pretty.
I layered 2 different washi tapes here,
Oh,
Oh, nice.
just for a
Cool.
little
Are those
something.
Love
And
that flower.
Watercolor?
that is, it's a woodware stamp. This one here.
Oh, wow. I love
And I
that.
just fussy cut it out. It's called Umbrella Grass. Sorry.
Okay.
wow.
That's
Oh.
gorgeous.
I just used like the Tim Holtz Distress inks on the background. And then this one here, which I'm really excited about, I ended up buying all the where'd it go now? It was right in front of me. This here is Cosmic Shimmer,
Mm.
but it's mixed media. So I don't know if you guys can see that there's chunks of grains in there,
Mm.
right? And that's what I did with that. So I used an embossing folder and I just put the, my words are evading me today. The Versamark, stamped it on the Versamark, and then I put it in the embossing folder and then just pressed on it. And then I just put the embossing powder on it. I don't know if you can see that, and you can see the little chunks in there.
That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
heat up powder then?
Pardon
Do you
me?
use the heat gun for the powder? or No,
Yes, you do. And
you do. Okay.
And actually, I find it better to heat it up from the underside.
Yes, because it won't blow away. It'll melt rather than blow around.
Yeah, and because this one's got
Okay.
the big chunks and I don't have like a double setting on my gun, you can really see it come out a lot clearer, I find.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah, yeah. So I did that.
Neat.
Yeah, so busy, busy, busy. Thought there was something else oh, and then I'm in the process of working on this one here. It's going to be another 3D topper,
Nice.
but this is it's that same background, but then I took the Versamark and dragged it across, and then I used this Cosmic Shimmer Brilliant Sparkle.
Mm,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
So
So,
they're
and then I
nice 'cause
heated
they're-
that up. Pardon?
It's nice because they're like multiple color embossing powders rather than a single color.
Well, this one in particular is just silver, but yeah, so I can show you guys a couple of the other colors.
So while she's gone, did she say she put the Versamark ink on the embossing folder and then
Yeah.
run it through? Just like you're gonna ink your embossing folder and then
Just
you
like
heat
you're gonna
the.
ink a stamp, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is another one of those mixed media embossing powders.
Pretty.
I don't know if you see that purple in there and the pink. This is Bronze Age. It's got some oranges and some reds in there.
Nice.
This one here is granite, so that you can see, I don't know if you can really see those bigger chunks in this one. But it's really important to shake them up before you use them. So because some of the stuff, sometimes it settles, right? The finer stuff to the bottom, and you want some of those chunks.
You want to mix, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, and yeah, they had a lot of like, colors that I really liked. So I had to get them all.
Don't know anyone else who'd do that.
Pardon me?
I said, I don't know anyone else who'd do that.
Well, I mean, I'm still starting out, so I don't really have like a lot of stuff. Like I don't have embossing powders and that. So for me, this was great because the little bits of embossing powder that I did have, I found I was constantly mixing them together. Because I don't necessarily like just the one shade or the one color. I like to have tone and texture to stuff I'm doing. So yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
Wow.
Anything else?
Alicia, thanks.
Look great, Alicia.
Thank you. No, that's it.
So I
Okay.
guess some of these products will be coming to Carol's store.
I have no idea. I don't work for Carol anymore.
Ah, okay.
They're already on Jen's website.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alicia. And Dana, you're in the spotlight.
Guys, I've been actually gone back to old school 12 by 12 scrapbooking, which I haven't probably done in about 7 years. So, but thanks to you guys, I'm incorporating some of my art journal supplies in with the layout. So it's been kind of fun. It's probably too hard for you to see them because it's just too big in my little camera here. But I had some, one thing I'm really enjoying is working in my scrapbooking room. Everything's at my fingertips. I don't have to pack. I don't have to remember everything. So I'm digging out and using some old stuff. So I found some glossy sort of stickers that I had received a long time ago. So these were the glossy stickers. I don't know if you can even tell that they're glossy. So I liked the way they looked. So then I thought, okay, well, I have this word discover. I had a couple other words. I just die cut them out of my paper. Then I used my Versamark and clear embossing powder and just covered them. So they actually look like they're the same sort of stickers, but it really was just a flat piece of cardstock that I had die cut.
That's cool.
Smart.
Good idea.
Just like I said, trying to use my supplies a little bit differently and not think of everything just the same. So I was using that in the 12 by 12s, and I've been trying to keep up with my ATCs, but I'm behind. So again, trying to come up with some new techniques, and you guys challenged me to use those different products that I've already been collecting for years, and now how to use them. So I'm trying to use those up, and I made a bunch of just quick and easy little Valentine cards out of the 3x4 cards that you get in some of those sets. So just cutting bits and pieces. I really like the 6x8 pads that Simple Stories does, because the patterns are scaled down and they have several pages of the 3x4 little cards. And so, you get one of those paper pads and you kind of just go crazy and do a bunch of different little cards. You can put glossy accents on them. You can, spark them up a little bit, but really they come up pretty quickly. So it was just kind of fun playing with different sizes. This is like it's a skinnier, I think, version of a
Slimline.
Slimline. Thank you. Couldn't come up with that name. Yeah. So, and as for the heritage, I really, I don't have a lot of old pictures, so I haven't done a lot of heritage albums. But back in the day when I very, very first started scrapbooking, before I even knew what a scrapbooking store was, went to Black's Photography, and they've got, the photo corners and like neutral color of cardstock. I made a scrapbook album for my dad he restored a 1940 Buick limousine from scratch when I was a kid. And he had the whole series of pictures from like this box of junk he brought home from the junkyard, right up to the finished product. So I made him a whole book of it. And that has to be probably 20 years ago that I did the book. And so he has actually given me back the book just because he didn't have anywhere to put it. So I think when you look at it, you're like, wow, that was all I did with it. But it's, I guess, what they call heritage now. So I'll go with it. So, anyway, thanks guys for keeping me inspired. I've missed you guys for the last couple of classes, and I'm glad to be back.
Okay, well, we're glad you're back too. So, okay, thank you, Dana. So now it's my turn. I think I got everybody right. Didn't miss anybody. Nope. Okay, so I'm in the spotlight. So let me get rid of that. Okay, so speaking of heritage, I want to show you, I have what's called a book of me. This was something that came out way back when I first got into scrapbooking, and there was several publications about how to do these kind of things. And it's basically where you record events in your own life, because the one thing scrapbookers tend to do is record everybody else, but not themselves. Well, I did a heritage page because at that point in time, I was also into doing some genealogy, and I had this picture of that's my great-great-grandfather and his family. And the reason I don't do genealogy anymore is I hit so many brick walls, because with the exception of my great-great-grandfather, all the rest of his family, with the exception of my great-grandfather, his son, they all moved out west and were distributed from Manitoba right out to BC. And I can't find any records about them. I don't know what happened to those branches of my family. But my one great-grandfather that stayed here, which was my father's grandfather, I had this picture of all of them. And so I was thinking, how can I put this in my album but know who the people are? So I did, and don't ask me, okay, this is difficult to show. If you look below, I have sort of a black and white drawing of the same picture, and it's numbered. And I did that in something, and I did it so long ago, I don't remember how I did it, but I did. And I wrote it all up, and I used these stamps and did some embossing on the page. Well, I submitted these pages to, I forget which magazine it was, but at the time they were doing a special edition about doing family heritage pages and things like that, and they published me at the time. And I went looking for that copy that I have with it in it, and I can't find it. It's here somewhere. It should be with my other books, and it probably is, but I leafed through the pages of all the ones I thought it was in. I couldn't find it. So I just have to take my word for it that I got published that one time. So that's how I was doing heritage pages or something. I haven't done that many. And now I'm going to change my focus to what I've been doing with my 3D printer. And I want to show you Shakespeare.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Now, this was a chore. This was the third version because for umpteen number of reasons, they would collapse halfway through or something, because you have to build supports into them, and then the supports come off it afterwards. So there's pieces here like his cape. You see that would be printing out in space. So there has to be okay, get this right way. There has to be supports put under here, and then they're a thinner material. Well, same plastic, but they're a little thinner, and you can pull them off afterwards. But if you don't have them, you end up with a whole lot of spaghetti or hair-like features because it's just plastic everywhere. Now, this took, when I finally got in, this took over 60 hours straight. So like 3-4 days, day and night to print this off. And I was getting very frustrated with it, but it became a challenge. And this is based on, well, it's a duplicate of a statue that's in England. In Leicester Square?
Leicester Square.
Leicester Square? Yeah, Leicester Square. It says that down here. So it says though, on the one end, Leicester Square, it will say to be or not to be here. Here it says to print or not to print. Whoever designed this, it was their little joke about the problems you have with 3D printing. But you know, I'm trying to blend 3D printing with mixed media. And I'm still experimenting with that, but I created this album box. Now, this is based on what we did that time with the Altoid tins, except I changed the parameters of this so it would be bigger and it would hold a 6x6 little album. Now, on the outside, I did sort of steampunk. All of these pieces are printed, including the box, on a 3D printer.
Wow.
And I paint poured on the top of the box lid to get that effect that's in behind. Now, inside, oh, it's falling apart. That's not good. How'd that happen? Well, inside, there's some piece in here. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, better glue. I need better glue. I just discovered that some things, tape runner does not stick to plastic well. So inside the inside cover, I have just some, you know, a little pocket with some journaling cards that you could use. And then I have I did the same thing on the back one as well. And here's the album that goes in it. So I just made a little 6x6 album. I stitched it. So the signatures are all stitched into it. And I just used some paper pad. I think this one was called Da Vinci. It's not actually a steampunk pad, but it's got steampunk-like elements to it. And it's all blank inside because I didn't put anything else in it. It's meant, you know, you could put your own things in it, your own inserts and things like that. So picture Da Vinci on the back. And it all just fits great in here. And yeah, it falls apart. Just a second. I gotta go downstairs. Coming back up.
Here design problems.
I took the elevator. So it all fits together in this little album. So that was one thing that I experimented with. But keeping all of you in mind and all the ATCs that I've gotten from you, I have no more wall space for your ATCs. So I thought, but what am I going to do with them? And I don't want to put them out of sight because I get a lot of inspiration from looking at your ATCs. When I'm having a blank, I look at those and I get inspired for something. So I created an ATC box on my 3D printer. Perfect. And I decorated it sort of, again, steampunky theme. Some Tim Holt things. And your cards, your future ones will all fit in here. And it has a little dividers. I didn't really decorate the dividers yet, but I made those all in the 3D printer as well. And this will hold quite a few. So that sits in a prominent spot. And if I get like bored, I just go, oh, look, leaf through all these cards.
That's nice.
Cool.
So you see, you can have the two worlds melted together. Now I am working on still trying to blend quilting with mixed media as well. So I am working, and I'm not going to show it to you today because it's a work in process. So I'll have it done to show it the next one. But I'm doing taking some of my scraps of fabric, and I'm doing some fabric, what I call fabric sculpture. And it's a little bit on the abstract side. I'm actually quite happy with the way it's starting to turn out now because I really don't have a plan. I'm just playing. And I'm also working right now. My printer's going over on the side. It has been for the last couple of days. I'm making a bunch of plastic roses, and I have an idea for those for sort of a another form of sculpture. And that's something I will show you in the next month as well, because at this time they're not done yet. But just as a sneak peek, I will show you a couple of the roses.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow.
Now that's just the basic form, but I'm going to do things to them yet as well. And it also involves this little bowl. I also printed on the 3D printer and some other things. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. But 3D printers are basically a toy. Okay? Because yeah, people could tell you they make practical things, but it's mostly a toy. It's a toy for big boys kind of a deal. So that's what I had to show you guys. So, before we move
Wow.
on to talking about the next meeting and things like that, I do want you to know that we did a craft and chat this week. We do it on the first Wednesday of every month. What are you giggling about, Kristen? I see you just back there having a good time with yourself, aren't you? I am going to attempt to have a quilting sewing retreat this coming Wednesday in the afternoon, starting at 1 o'clock. I'm going to put the link to that if anybody is interested. It'll be in the notes that I send out to you today or tomorrow. With that, it's a Zoom thing. If you don't quilt or you don't sew, you can do other things. You can use it as a craft retreat as well, because I certainly won't kick anybody out from that. I've been doing this now, one I call Craft and Chat. I've been doing that the first Wednesday of every month for the last little while. And I don't have a lot of people in it. It's a small group. It's kind of about the size of our group right here. But the people that are in it seem to have a good time. And we just talk about whatever. There's no formality to it. There's no real structure to it. You come and go as you please. And, we might say, what are you working on? And they'll talk a little bit about it. And it's just general chit chat. And that's how the quilting one is going to be as well. My idea with the quilting one, though, is if depending on the people I get into this one, and if they enjoy it and like more of them, I'd like to do a full virtual quilting retreat, which would be a whole day. And I'd like to get maybe some guest speakers or guest demonstrators in that. I'd like to give prizes and do that kind of thing in that. But that's down the road. That's still up here. I'm taking it one little step at a time. But anyways, so if you're interested, there'll be a link in the show notes when I send them out to you.
Well, I think that could work, Stephen, because I mentioned like last weekend I did Maker Mania all weekend, and it was great. Like out of every hour, it was 45 minutes of a demo or something. Then you got to go to the washroom before the next one, and they gave you a break like around 4 o'clock. But I thought, what would it be like? But it was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
The whole weekend I was mesmerized, like just.
Yep. Well, that's the kind of idea that I'm thinking of. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. It's an idea right now. It may take off. It may not take off. I don't know. We'll see how it works. But anyways, okay. So
did that lady from the Late Hammer show up last week?
Which lady?
I forgot your crafting print. Remember I was there last month, and there was that lady from, was it Sweden or Finland or?
Oh yeah, Marion.
Something.
Yeah, Marion. She's from Norway. Yeah.
Norway.
Yep. Yeah. She was not on there this past Wednesday, but she sent me a note. She actually, what I'm doing on the Idiot Quilter right now is one of my features is I take subscribers, send me pictures of their quilts or their fiber art. And I've been featuring one of those on each one of the Idiot Quilters, which the Idiot Quilter now, its regular schedule. It's become every Tuesday that I post that. And I show it and feature it. And I think hers is coming up in another couple of weeks. Actually, it might be this week. I think it is this week. I'm featuring her stuff as well. But yeah, she's really an interesting person. Because she says her English isn't very good, but her English is a lot better than my Norwegian, like a lot better, because I don't know how to speak English.
Curious how she found you, and like she didn't show any of her art that time, but it was kind of neat, like just that someone.
I have no idea how they find me, because I'm not really that big a potato out there with it. So it always amazes me when I get somebody that's like from the other side of the world. Like I have a few Aussies and that kind of thing, but whatever. So that takes us to date for our next meeting, which would be the first Sunday in March is March the 7th. So that's at 1 p.m. as usual. Now I was thinking as we were talking today about the heritage albums, that was a theme. And I thought, actually, that's kind of neat. So I'm thinking, should we try having a theme? We'll do our regular show and share, of course, but then add a little thing like we did this time, talking about heritage. And if people like that, anybody got a suggestion for this
I
month's
was gonna say,
theme?
what kind of themes are you thinking about?
I don't know. That's what I was asking you. Like, is there something, when I say theme, it doesn't have to be necessarily something like heritage or birthdays or something. It could be something like,
Yeah, it's
based
difficult.
on technique or something, or
Yeah.
or whatever. So does anybody have something off the top of their head that they want to throw out at us? Where's Joanne when we need her? She always has good ideas. I
Don't
don't
say
know.
drumming, Joanne.
I don't
My
know what,
brain just went blank.
or is there something that somebody wants to know more about that's, that's strange to them? That, I mean, most of us have been doing this for a long time, but sometimes there's some techniques that we may have learned a long time ago that, we could revisit, or that somebody's never heard of before and thought, oh, that might be cool.
Steven,
So, yeah.
I've been working with, I don't know about any of you guys, but I've been working with some pixie powders, and I came across a really cool technique using it on acetate.
Oh,
I don't
would you
even
be
know what
willing to
people
demo
are.
that for us?
I would, if
Okay,
you guys
sounds
are
good.
all interested.
Yes, we are.
Interesting.
I
Good
don't
job,
even know
Alicia.
what they are.
Yeah, I don't know what pixie powders are.
Oh, you have no idea. It's so much fun.
Okay,
Oh,
we've
dear.
got it.
Serious addiction.
Okay, so I'm putting you in the notes right now that you're going to be demonstrating was it pixie
Pixie
Dust?
powder.
pixie powder?
Isn't
Okay.
pixie dust a drug?
Yeah. I think-
It probably is too, but
If it is, I'm not sharing.
Oh yeah. She'll demo though. Okay, we've got it. So Alicia will demonstrate pixie powder at our next meeting. Yay. Okay, that's good. Okay, before we sign off, is there anything anybody wants to discuss now, or anything that we've missed? Burning
I'm
desires?
just sharing my ATCs.
Oh, well.
perfect.
I was so
Let's see
excited
'em.
about everything else.
Oh, well,
That's
did you?
my watercolor.
Can you spotlight her, please?
Yes, I'm just, okay, where is she? There she is.
Yeah. That's you.
Okay,
Oh,
yay.
there we go.
Can you
There's
back
my
it up a bit,
watercolor.
Alicia? It's dark.
Yeah, pull it back a bit.
Just tilt it. Tilt it towards the light. Yeah. Is
Go
that a-
towards the light.
Is it a turtle?
Oh, that's worse.
Darker
No,
that
that's worse
way.
light.
Just that. Let me turn it this way.
Here we go.
Is that Pikachu?
That is Pikachu. And the other one is Kyogre.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. That's good.
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, and I didn't know that you didn't decorate the back, but I stamped on the and embossed on the back, be your own kind of beautiful.
Nice.
Nice.
Perfect.
And then I just, I had some little circle punch outs from a die cut that I'd used. So I just put those on and then put the,
Versamark and embossing powder?
no, it's not embossing powder. It's the,
Glossy accents.
thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
And then I did this one and I wrote absence and then put the clear embossing powder on that. And then the heart grows fonder.
Right,
Oh,
Right.
perfect.
Cool.
I did that.
That's cool, Alicia. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Now, before you go, I was, you know how we were talking about interesting things? Well,
Yep.
here's a picture behind me.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
Pretty big file.
See the picture though?
Yes, you
Yeah.
just changed your background.
That's a book. That's a
Fold-
book.
Pages
That's
folded in
turned-
half.
Yeah, all the pages are folded in half and it turns into a Rolodex. Remember
Oh,
last week we were talking about a Rolodex?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And apparently, if you go on Google or whatever, Pinterest and stuff like that, all kinds of people have done these books and turned them into Rolodex. I think this lady
Wow.
might have a calendar in the background. So I thought, there's something different, like to do
book projects. I
Yeah.
always like to do
Yeah.
old books and try to figure out things. So
I
I was
like that
trying to
idea.
think of how I could show you the picture, so I just made it my
Yeah.
background.
That's cool.
That would be a cool way to display the
Nice thing you
ATC.
had in your house.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, that
Yeah.
would be a great way to show ATCs.
I know, because I was also thinking, where is it?
It's funny, Gina couldn't figure out how to get on, but yet she could
I
change her
know.
background.
But I did manage to change my background, but there was another one. You just go into your photos.
It looks like she's coming out of the book right now.
Doesn't it?
Now I can't. Well, anyway, I got one photo in there for you.
Yeah, good job.
I just
Good
can't
job.
get any more now. Because I was thinking I did do a bunch of Valentine cards and I did take a picture of them. But anyway, I'll figure it out later.
That's awesome.
But
That's
yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, I thought that it looks like they folded them and then they distressed
Folded
the
them
edges.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen different ones. There's all kinds of them. They look gorgeous.
Yeah,
Mm.
I really
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
want to make one of those. Yeah.
But those,
Yeah, I do.
so do I. So I talked to the girl that made that one and she said it was a Dollarama book with 390 pages.
Yeah.
And then you can put different paper on the front and back. And some of them they took ribbon or straps and put straps in so that the book wouldn't have to rest against the wall. I think she's got
Hmm.
that rested against the wall
Yeah.
to hold it
Oh, I
up.
see like that on the side. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another way to
that's
store
really-
ATCs.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Or other things too. Yeah, I really like that. Or pictures or all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that.
I thought it was
cool.
I wonder if they use that as a calendar, like if you see where it has January 23rd, you could have it up against your wall, but keep changing that every day with a
And
calendar.
that's what that girl did. She has a whole bunch of index cards that just say the months, and then she has numbers. So each day she just changes the numbers.
Hmm.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay, love that idea.
I
Okay,
know.
Cool. You can put family stuff in there, like.
Yeah.
Heritage.
That could
Put
be.
anything.
like
Yeah.
family, Yeah.
Yeah, because I think she's got
These
some
stories
pictures.
that I have. Yeah. I
Yeah, she's
like
got some
that.
pictures in there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I
that-
really like that.
There's your fancy Rolodex cards.
Yep. Yep. Okay, that's great.
Wow.
Thanks for sharing that. That's a real mind blower, that one. Okay, so anything else from anybody? Nope,
Nope.
everybody's good. Okay, so just a reminder that our next meeting is, I said, March the 7th at 1 p.m. as usual, Sunday, March the 7th, and there'll be a link. I'll send out the link like I usually do, just a few days before. And I'll send out the show notes and the link to this when it goes live on YouTube. So
Yes,
everybody have a
I'll go
good one.
I'll go back and watch what I missed for sure.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's all the nasty things we said about you trying to get on. Yeah.
Okay.
Did not. There's nothing nasty to say about Gina.
No,
No, no.
no,
Okay,
I
so-
tried.
All right.
that was-
So we'll see
Stina,
everybody. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone.